What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Lord Loon 6075, aka the Water Twin, here with my Tuscaloosa regional report that happened this past weekend while YCS India was going on. And in this event, guys, I chose to make a metal call to play my Phantom Fish OTK deck, and it turned out pretty well for me. Even though I didn't get a chance to top, I got 44th place. So I mean, it was pretty good for what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make a meta call to actually play Phantom Fish OTK over Gitsky. Not the fact that I didn't think Gitsky was going to do well. It just, I evaluated the format and seen that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a lot of decks were just putting a lot of big monsters in your face and say go, name the wind-ups, Machina gadgets if they had a chance, and Six Samurai. And big ups to Junior, who just won YCS Indy this weekend. He's a native at my locals. I talk to him all the time. So big ups to you, bro. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. And in the description below, you guys will see the matchups. And I'm going to go through the matchups myself after the deck profile. Alright, guys. So first up, we have SuperAncient Deepsea King Celocanth. Alright. This is the primary win condition of the deck. If you guys don't know what he does, I'm going to just read him out for you. He's a 28, 22 defense, fish, 7-star monster. Once per turn, you can discard one card to special summon as many fish level 4 or lower from your deck as possible. So off the bat, guys, this guy's phenomenal. A monster special summoned by this effect cannot declare an attack, and its effect is negated while on the field. If this card is targeted by spell, trap, or effect monster effect, you contribute one other fish type monster to negate the effect and destroy this card. Alright, guys, so right off bat, you see this guy's totally awesome. Alright, so he can special summon many fish from the deck to the field as possible. And plus, while any other fish is on the field, he's protected against stuff like Forbidden Lands, Dimensional Prison, Compulsory Activation Device, and other things like that, and even Raikou. Alright, guys, so that's SuperAncient Deepsea King Celocanth. Alright, next up, I play one copy of Gorz, 3 copies of Royal Swamp Eel. Royal Swamp Eel is the primary tuner of the deck. Not to mention he's a 4-star tuner. But the only thing about it, he can only be tuned with other fish monsters. Alright, guys, so it kind of limit my plays to where I only have to use, I can only use pretty much fish in my deck. Alright. Next up, have 3 copies of Wind Up Shark. On my way down to Tallahassee, I decided to pick up Wind Up Sharks because I wanted to have more of a middle game. And Wind Up Sharks, and another tech card I use in my deck right now, which would be Shark Stickers, will give me that kind of that little middle game or that grind game in the middle when I don't go off with Celocanth. Alright. So what I do, if I open up double shark, it allows me to go into a rank 3, a rank 4, or even a rank 5 for Zemayo. So that's pretty much how I use that guy. So he works out pretty well in this deck. And not to mention, if I use Celocanth's ability and stuff like that, I can bring out Wind Up Sharks also. Even though the effect's negated, Wind Up Sharks is still a 4-star, which I pretty much will always need. Next up, the graveyard fodder in the deck, Nimble Sunfish. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, send one other fish type monster to the graveyard and special one Nimble Sunfish to the field in any position. So guys, I pretty much use him to fodder out SuperAncient Deepsea King Celocanth to the graveyard for Monster Reborn, Call of the Hunted, or even the Phantom of Chaos in my which I run at 3s. Alright, so he pretty much the fodder of the deck. Next up, I play 2 copies of Friller Rebaca. He's pretty much the Necro Gardener for fish, sea serpent, aqua type monsters. I remove him when an opponent attacks my fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster. Banish him from the graveyard. The attack is negated. The opponent monster loses 500 attack until the end of my next turn. So it actually gives me a chance to actually beat that attacking monster. So it's working out real pretty darn good. And it's a pretty good combo with him and Levier, because you can just summon Levier, banish one of these, and detach for Levier, bring one of these guys back. So it's a lot of shenanigans you can do with Friller Rebaca. Next up, 2 shark stickers. These are the 2 tech cards I was mentioning when I was explaining my tech choice for Wind Up Shark. Anytime a fish, sea serpent, archetype monster is normal or special summon, this guy flies right out your hand. All right, guys. So he's an instant rank 3 with Wind Up Shark. He's an instant rank 3 with Friller Rebaca. And he's an instant rank 3 with if I pull both of these guys, which I have in the tournament and went into Z-Mains. So he's pretty decent. Next up, an old friend, Phantom of Chaos. Excuse me, guys, I have a bit of a cold. Phantom of Chaos. I basically use Phantom of Chaos to take the ability of Super DC King Celocanth when he's in the graveyard, so that way I can actually go off. And it's nothing I have bad to say about Phantom Chaos. I run him at 3s, and I pretty much do what I need to do with him. Even though Fat Veil's ran very well, it's not even ran heavy anymore. That's why this deck. I guess that's why the deck did so well this weekend. But you know, Phantom Chaos is what he is, so he pretty much helped me goes off with my combos. All right, next up, guys, we have the spells. Let's move this out of the way. 3 copies of Gold Sarcophagus. Alright, guys, Gold Sarcophagus pretty much lets me search for any piece of the combo that I may or may not need for the next 2 turns or whatever. So Gold Sarc is pretty standard in any Phantom Fish OTK deck or any fish deck for that matter. 1 copy of Pot of Avarice to bring back monsters. 2 copies of Star Blast. Star Blast is let me go ahead and read it to you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys don't know what it is. Pay any number of life points and multiples of 500. Reduce the level of 1 monster you control or that is in your hand by 1 for each 500 life points you pay until the end phase. Alright, guys, let me go ahead and explain this a little bit more. So let's say I open up with Star Blast and Celocanth and another random card. I will activate Star Blast, dropping Celocanth down to a 4-star. So I actually would pay 1,500 life points to make him a 4-star monster. Alright, guys, and then I would just go ahead and just normal summon Celocanth. Just like that. Use the other card to pitch for the ability and just go off. Alright, guys, so it's a pretty neat card. So I'm going to run that at 2. I play 2 copies of Forbidden Lance. Protect Celocanth if he's on the board. 1 copy of D.D.R as a tech. D.D.R is pretty good. Discard 1 card from your hand to select and special summon 1. Remove and play a monster you control. When this card is destroyed, it's destroyed or whatever. So I pretty much use this after Phantom Chaos. Use the effect on Celocanth, and it's pretty much there. You know, Celocanth is out there and remove and play with a Phantom Chaos effect, and I just play D.D.R. Or another famous combo of mine, I use Gold Sarcophagus and D.D.R. I go in Gold Sarc, Celocanth, and play D.D.R on first turn, and I just go off from there. Even though it kind of leaves me at a die straight for cards, but when you stare down Shock Master, Stardust, and Celocanth, I mean, you can't really do anything about that. So it's pretty good. Next up, 2 copies of Mystical Space, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm wraps up the spells. Let's go on to the traps. 2 Solemn Warnings, 2 T.Tributes, 1 Mirror Force, and 2 Call of Hunters. Alright, guys, let's go into the extra. My personal favorite, Allied Justice, Decisive Armor. This card pretty much helped me out against my agent matchup. You know, I just knew I was going to play an agent, so I decided to keep Decisive Armor in main board. 1 Thought Ruler, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Gunner Dragon on Ice Bear, DeLorean Tiger Ice Bear, Wind Up Zemayo. Alright, guys, you might ask, like I said, I get into Zemayo with 2 Wind Up Sharks. I go Shark, boosting both to 5, and Zemayo. Violin of Signal, number 16 Shock Master, number C39 Utopia Ray, 1 copy of number 39 Utopia, 1 Black Ray Lancer, 1 Steel Swarm Roach, 1 Leviair, and 1 Wind Up Z-Mains. Alright, that wraps up the extra deck. Now for the side deck, I sided 2 golden matches for those wind up matchups or anything that's colorful. 2 shadow mirrors for dark worlds. 2 light mirror for agents, which I saw. 2 needle ceilings for those people that like spam. 1 copy of Sealing Ceremonial Sushin. Alright guys, a lot of people probably don't even know what this card does, so I'm going to read that for you. Once per turn, you can send one water monster from your hand to the graveyard to target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish that target. I pretty much side this card on for Dark Worlds if they have Graph in the graveyard. I flip this up and just boom. It's pretty much like a Dark Smog, but for water monsters, so why not play it? So I side against Dark Worlds and Aegis to knock Aegis out of play. Alright, next up, 2 copies of Prohibition for those chain burns or whatever, final countdown. 2 Sensitive Downs for Machina Gadgets. And 2 Effect Veils. Alright guys, that's pretty much wraps up my Tallahassee regional recap. Let me go through the matches. Round 1, let's see my little hand right. Round 1 I played Heroes. I 2-0'd them with Shock Master and Stardust for both games. So it kind of like ended that. Round 2 I played Evols. He 2 straight at me, guys. He just open busted. Round 3, same thing. Rabbits just 2-0'd me. They just I don't understand how you get hit how they get hit and still able to function like nothing happened. If anything, they got more consistent. But that's besides the point. Alright, round 4 guys, I played the Gladiator Beast player. Cool dude, he's actually one of my subscribers. We ended up going 3 games, but I ended up coming out on top. Round 5, Machina Gadgets, I won. Round 6, Prophecy. Oh my god. Guys, I misplayed. And it cost me the game. It cost me game 1. We went 3 games, but I misplayed and it just caught me. I'm still learning, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time to get back in the swing of things, this fish thing, because I just totally misplayed. So he ended up getting it, which is cool. You know, like I said, round 6 I played Prophecy. Round 7 I played Agents, and oh my god, I just told myself if he let me get to the Decisive on him, he's done, and that's exactly what happened. So I went Decisive on for the game, or at least game 1. Round 8 I played Evols. Now I already lost the Evols up here. I'd be damned if I'm gonna lose to it again down here. So he ended up getting game 1 and stuff like that. But game 2 and 3, I'll open up Star Blast, Celocanth, Heavy Storm, both games for the win. So I went ahead and pulled it out like that. Round 8. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my little regional recap. Like I said guys, Fish OTK is not done. So feel free to try this out on DN or whatever guys. So this is Water Twin out. Peace.